What's up, YouTube? This is Bison X79. Last week, TCG Konami announced through their YouTube page the 2020 Create a Card project. What's going to happen is that they chose 16 archetypes from the past in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! They created matchups for each of the archetypes, and the matchups are going to be settled by the fans voting for the archetype they want to win the most on the official TCG Konami Twitter page. I'll have the Twitter handle down in the description box below, so you guys can go vote for your favorite deck in the matchup. They're doing one matchup at a time, so not all the matchups are going to be up at once. The first matchup is actually ongoing. It's the Weather, aka Weather Painters versus Graydle. And once a winner of this entire particular grid hap is determined, they're going to announce how they're going to be releasing the cards into the game. The way I see it is either going to be via a TCG exclusives in a Corpus set, or possibly maybe even a TCG exclusive starter deck. Or structure deck, excuse me. I know they've done that in the past, so that would actually be pretty cool. Get a lot of the cards in one place, in one go. I mean, it would be helpful for some of the other archetypes that might be a little bit older, like Graydles or even X-Sabers in that particular situation. Mermills would also be able to benefit from it as well. So my angle from it is not just to give you an overview of the whole thing. I'm actually going to dive into each matchup and discuss each of the archetypes, and hopefully make some suggestions about what the deck really needs to help get it going. So we're going to cover Graydle first. This was a synchro-based archetype of water attribute aqua monsters that were introduced in Dimension of Chaos and also came out in Invasion Vengeance. The deck was kind of a bit of an offshoot of the Alien archetype. To be very honest, they did play around with the whole idea of swiping your opponent's monsters depending on how the monsters were destroyed. Basically, the color scheme of each of the monsters determined how they could basically steal your opponent's monsters. If Eagle was destroyed by a monster effect, you steal the monster. If it was destroyed by a trap effect, you steal the monster via Cobra's effect. If it was destroyed by a spell effect, those Alligator would swipe a monster as well. So you get the idea. The deck also had two tuners, Graydle Slime and Graydle Slime Jr., which is very awesome. The decks had continuous spells, Graydle Impact, as well as two continuous traps. Impact, target one other Graydle card you control and one card your opponent controls, destroy them, and then during an end phase you can add a Graydle card from your deck to your hand, which is awesome. You get that end phase search there. You can only use one Graydle Impact effect per turn, and only once that turn, so you either pop or you search. You don't get both. So you get that whole selfish choice there built into the card. The traps, though, if your opponent makes a direct attack, and you can special summon a Graydle monster from your graveyard. You can steal monsters when they're destroyed by battle as well. And Graydle Split, you basically equip this to one of your monsters. And if you send the trap card through its own effect to the graveyard, you can actually triple off the monster's effect as well, and get two other Graydle monsters on the field for the price of one, except those monsters brought out by the card effect are destroyed at the end of the turn, so you get the whole idea. If you want to be swiping more monsters, you're going to be needing to bring out Cobras in order to basically swipe more cards. I've seen this deck in action recently. It's alright, since it's a synchro-based deck. Hacker feedbacks would definitely be something I would add into the extra deck. The only problem is that getting the necessary cards on the field, that's going to be the major issue. So possibly getting a monster that can actually special summon from hand or deck or graveyard, hopefully probably by a discard effect or something like that, could help this deck out. Just being able to get multiple monsters on the field to get the deck running a little bit easier. I mean, to be very honest, I would like to see more synchro monsters as well, so you can actually build into the big boss monster to really get the most out of it. But that's pretty much where I think the deck needs. If they can add maybe a few more support spells, that would also be pretty cool. Just pop a card off the field, special summon a monster from the graveyard or something like that. Yeah, something that can help the deck get going. I mean, it's really, in my opinion, the best way. Now, for the weather, aka Weather painters. Most of the monsters here are level 3 monsters, with the exception of Weather Painter Aurora, and she's pretty much the best card in the deck. It's too bad she's level 6. Basically, all the Weather Painters on Summon, what they do is they allow you to place a Weather Painter canvas from your Spell or Trap card from your deck onto the field. Some of them can do it from the graveyard, others can do it from the hand. Aurora, like I said, is the best you can do it from all 3 places. And from there, the spells and traps give the Weather Painter monsters various effects depending on the battle positions they're in. With that being said, the deck is pretty hard to get going. There's no searcher spell for the monsters, so you literally are having to deal with the luck of the draw on what monsters you pick up. I'm thinking possibly a searcher spell and probably maybe an effect that can also act in the same turn, where you could just search out any of the Weather Painters and then maybe just banish it from that spell card from the graveyard, and are able to summon a Weather Painter monster without tributing, or with 1 less tribute, so you can get Aurora out onto the field a little bit easier, since she is the better monster. I mean, considering that all the monsters can basically get you the canvas that you need, it really doesn't necessarily matter with that particular situation, especially since they're placing, they can actually dodge Ash pretty damn well, as well as some other floodgates like Imperial Order or Anti-Spell Fragrance. So the deck can play around. Like I said, it's just a bit slow. We need the ability to search out the Weather Painters, as well as get multiple summons on the field. I think that right there is the other thing the deck really needs, to be honest. And I think both of those as probably spells would do the deck wonders. Alright, so that right there is my analysis for the first matchup of the Weather versus Graydle. Guys, expect a video for Dynamis versus Lightsworn coming out sometime this weekend. To be honest, I can't wait to see which deck wins this particular poll. I'm going to be voting for my favorites, and I hope the best deck wins, to be very honest. Guys, let me know down in the comment section below what you think would help each of the archetypes I mentioned. I would love to hear your opinions about it. As always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe, enable notifications so you don't miss any uploads. Guys, check out the description box below. Find the invite link to my Discord server, join a conversation. Love to have you. The links to my affiliates, TCGplayer.com, as well as SideDeckVersus.com, is also there. Check them out. They're great resources for any Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, as well as follow me on social media, Twitter, and Reddit. Guys, as always, until next time, peace.